Hi people. So I just wanted to show off my collection of DVDs. Well, I'm not really that high on collecting physical media, and it mostly just accumulated through the years, especially before the digital era. Nowadays I have a certain service where I can make all my videos private. So I just, you know, upload there and nobody can access it but me. And that's how I bypass the system, so to say. But, when streamings just disappear one day after the other and the physical media is all that vulnerable, that's the best I could come up with. So before I get into the movies, I wish to show you this documentary. This came with 3D glasses. I was all into the 3D when it was, and I had to put all my 3D glasses into it. So this is your normal digital 3D. Just open it and put it on, and it's digital 3D. It came with the Safari DVD, and it was like that. Now I, just for the similarity's sake, keep there the Sun Watcher black glasses. There was some eclipse someday, so everybody had those. I doubt nowadays anybody have that, but whatever. From somewhere, I think for a newspaper I did this. This is a red blue 3D, and there was Spy Kids 3D, and you could take away the red blue 3D. Yeah, in this country we had the red blue version and not the digital 3D version. This is from that. And I actually, when I have to watch a red blue movie, because sometimes I find those, I use this. Despite this being the girly one, this is just absolutely comfortable and it's perfect and everything. Now I cheat a bit. This is a computer game, but if I make a video with all my boxes, this was the last release of a certain studio. They used the backronym for international release, Water Golem, with a normal V at the end, dot between the letters, but it was actually just Golem. And with Windows 7 or 10, I think 10, you can no longer run this, and I was seriously, I just wish to play it through on all with those three races, which turned out to be the three difficulty levels. So when I started it with the race I like the most just by looking at it, I will absolutely kick my butt. So I had to try all of the races, and it turned out the races are the difficulty levels. And I never finished even until now. The third race, the hard difficulty, it just takes forever. It is like the original Warcraft, but every level is water level, but it's actually working. So it's not a frustrating water level where you hate your mother even, but it's working. It's a good playable game. If you are not into absolute gameplay and graphics, I love it, and I found a way to make it work. It's a complicated process, but I just wanted to show you this with the occasion. Now, the next ones are movies, finally. These are just some things I like for personal reasons. There is no special editions or anything like that. This is the City of Lost Children with Ron Perlman in the one of the main roles. The whole thing is from a French director. It was in English, but it's very much like Lynch's that series Twin Peaks. It's very much like that with the aesthetics and all these dream-like things going on. It's actually some weird steampunk sci-fi existential thing running, but it's cool. It has a good story. It has an actual story, not like Twin Peaks. So this is a good one. This, the planet of the serpent goddess or whatever it was in English. It this was my first so bad it's good movie. I knew it's absolutely bad. It's a trash movie. I have no production value, but it had boobs. It had giant snakes eating people, chasing through the jungle or whatever. I absolutely love this original title, Sumuru. If you want to look up in IMDb, it's it's just it's just fun. I never threw it away because you know I didn't understand why back then, but I knew I liked that. And I wanted to have that. It was a gift from my mother probably because there was this era when there was the DVD trash bin and you could get for a couple of bucks. So she brought it to me because she thought for a lot of discs, cheap discs, that oh, my son is watching DVDs all day, so whatever, it's cheap, it's DVD, he will like it. Most of the times I didn't, but this was a good one. And this is Vampire Academy. It was critically a flop, commercially a flop. It was riding the twilight times. I like this. This is some Twilight like young adult romantic vampire stuff, fluff, Disney Channel quality stuff. And I actually saw it in the cinemas for whatever reasons, and I thought this is a sequel to something, and I was hesitant to go out and ask her to what is happening, but in the end I waited for the title. It was okay, I will watch it, and I so liked it. When I saw it in some bargain bin or something. It wasn't a bargain bin, but it was cheap. I brought it home and I was happy with it, and I even rewatched it a couple of times, and I always liked it. Madame Hollywood. I had a subscription for Full Moon, and you get 10 DVDs, and actually you get something better of it. It was a 1 day uh, special occasion, but this was one of the 10 DVDs, and this is the only porn film I have on physical media. And yes, I accept this is a porn, and I actually like the movie element of it. So this is a fine even if you just want to watch a movie. And this was the special occasion box set of Evil Dong. It actually had here on both sides, it had some placeholders for stuff. It was it looked on paper very nice idea, but took away space, and I just wanted to put in my Blu-rays, and I couldn't fit in, so I just took a knife and carved out the placeholder thingy. And coming to Blu-rays, because this has a paper box set, Saiho Gorman. I wish I could had a option on the Windows free utility tool program to flip the screen so you could, I didn't have to tell the titles and you could just read it. It has all the extra material. Uh, where is the good stuff? Of course it is at the bottom. Yeah, collectible cards or whatever. It's absolutely official because I just wasn't that more expensive, the super special extra edition, so I just got it. These paper cases are actually a bit of a weird thing because sometimes they put in one DVD and I don't know why exactly. And you see, just like Saiho Gorman, this comes out on the side, but this comes out on the top and bottom. I don't know why. I had others like this, but I wish to show you this Pirates of the Caribbean 3. This is, I have 1, 3 and 4, but I liked 4 the most. No, I liked 3 the most, but 4 was, you know, unique, and I liked it because it moved on from a point where the story actually ended. The pirate world ended, so it was all just Jack Sparrow and his map. So this has 2 discs, and I just wanted to show it off for the format. Now I want to go through the cheap, low budget stuff. This is Decrepit Crypt of Nightmares, 50 movie collection. I have a whole video about it somewhere on my channel. You see, 50 movie, yeah, right there. All of them are very cheap. The best one are TV movie quality, and the worst one, Suburban Sasquatch, and even below that, there was that guy who made the Goblin and the prehistoric bimbos. Yeah, one of the prehistoric bimbos on it. It's unwatchable. You can't understand what they are saying, and there is no subtitles anywhere. I started to do it. I did it until what I realized is a recap from the first film, but it is incoherent mess. The resolution is even below VHS. So, but I will make a video about this one day. This is a low budget stuff, and the director is more of a style over substance guy, but he makes coherent films mostly, and they look they are they have a kind of feeling you can go with if you don't mind low budget media. And this was, by the way, a COVID film, so he did it with one person. Yeah, this actress helped him doing his stuff, the camera work and all the things. She did, by the way, the costumes. She was the costume designer and she did most of the roles at the end because because COVID and it was an Indiegogo campaign. Low budget stuff, had to work with the limitation, then mostly COVID. You know, you couldn't gather people in one place. Now, I told to Geek Legion of Dooms that I had a problem one time that there was a Hungarian release of Conan the Barbarian, and I realized when watching the DVD, it is in all practical sense a silent movie, with one important part where there is the big monologue of Conan praying to Chrome before the ending big battle, and that had no dub over it. There was just the English voiceover, the English original song. I hated that. I had to bring it back, and it turned out every single DVD was had this mistake, and they did not re-release the film in Hungary. So you either had a homemade VHS transcript to digital media, or you had that, or you stole it from somewhere. So similarly, this is Immortals. This is a French movie. I will have to watch the how it was made, because I think this is a was made by the same uh, method as Avatar, but on a much lower budget and much lower hardware. I love this. This is some weird sci-fi thing. Everybody else hates it or something, mostly because Avatar dumped a lot of cash to make people hate. The thing is, this only had the Hungarian voice, the Hungarian dub. I hate that. That can so ruin the movie when you have the worst voice, the bad voice. It's just unwatchable. So I actually made myself downloaded it from I think YouTube, had the right resolution, had it all in English, and when they speak Egyptian and French, I made my personal subtitles, so it was all fine. But recently, very recently, like in a couple of weeks, I saw someone advertising selling secondhand his used DVD, uh, 2 disc version and special edition on all kinds of stuff. And I looked around the net and I found it even cheaper, unreasonably cheap. Seriously, it was unreasonably cheap because I had to get it from across the border, so the post office, the international transfer, the taxes, and actually the media's price, it was half the price, like getting it from this dude who sold it at a reasonable price inside my country. And it came in this version, and I don't know if you can see it. Oh yeah, you can see it. It is. It was not. This does not have the cover. It was advertised with. It has a better cover. It is holographic. You can see the tower is jumping when I turn it around, and that's because it is a holographic cover. Absolutely love this. This has the original dubbed, and it is in German. The Germans somehow have some very good physical media market. They get limited releases of lower profile Asian movies and USA movies and all from all across the world, really. So I have all kinds of the movies from all around the globe, by the way. So this is from Korea. I am cyborg, but it's all okay. One of me as a kid, I love this even more than Uh, the little girl has his parents turned pigs and they're working in that spa for the gods. This is the Wandering Palace. I wanted to include an animated movie. This is the Eye 2, also from Japan. It's thematically in the same franchise as the Eye, but it is not a continuation by character or and any other sense. Just it's much better execution than the first volume. I have Krish from India. Yes, this is a Indian superhero flick. They are dancing and singing. It's fantastic, absolutely fantastic. I've had the Seventh Gate of Hell from Fulci, Italian media, Italian media for Bud Spencer. Yeah, this is a Hungarian release, but and it is a costume movie. He mostly did, you know, going around punching people in a funny way. Was for I don't know 12 years young people or something. He was very popular in Hungary. Yeah, he made some movies in the USA too, but it wasn't very high profile. I wish people across the globe seen some of his movies. There are some very good ones. I will make a video probably about the titles. There is a Serbian movie, the Black Cat, White Cat. It was the international title. I even have a Russian movie. This was the super superhero movie. This was the Guardians of Night, Guardians of Day. This is day one for some reason. And oh, sorry, I just messed up my order. Yeah, German. This is a teenage zombie flick. I absolutely loved it. Uh, Whatever the original title was. Tangle for the British. Yeah, that was cool. And I have some Hungarian things to show off. This was specifically made for the Hungarian audience. Zimmerferry. It was about a family who rent out tents for around the Lake Balaton. It's the big lake of Hungary, but they are very cheap and they are scammers. But well, seriously, this is for the Hungarian audience. If you want an absolutely Hungarian movie, watch that. I have this one, Argo. It even had a second part, which had a larger budget. It's actually a stolen copy, so this is why this is not in color. But it was actually absolutely a blast. It was a action movie. The second had a much larger budget. The Hungary had a much bigger franchise, which unfortunately had a third release. It was terrible. The first one was about three brothers are making a low-budget movie, and the second was they are making a musical. It was titled Something America. The first one is more for the Hungarian audience. The second one where they make a musical stage play, something like what was that? Jesus Christ Superstar or something in that line. Uh, that that was made for more international audience. It was a higher budget movie, very high production quality, one of the top Hungarian films. Uh, what you can present to an international audience. Now, this Vakvagányok, uh, Brave and Blind, if I want to translate it, this was an experimental film made for the blinds for as the primary audience, but also keeping in mind the more general public. So this was a decent success, and if you are curious to the more weird part of cinema, for, at least for the Hungarian audience, because I don't know about international release, this was a good one. And this is an absolute Hungarian success story, known as Omen, avagy Reszkes Szabó János. It means, well, it is a slasher. It is a low-budget Hungarian slasher. It was released digitally after a very limited. No, it wasn't even released in cinema, although maybe later there was a very limited release. It was released in a now defunct TV channel, which had a block which shown you low-budget amateur movies, and this was one of them. The protagonist is named Szabó János, practically John Smith in America. So it's a very common name in Hungary, and he gets fed up that every office mixes up his data with other John Smiths, so he starts to kill all of them. It's it's a blast. It's a low budget blast. I absolutely adore it. And really, this guy is perfect choice, and this this is absolutely the perfect marketing. Now, moving on, I have only one, and I don't play to get more physical media found footage. Europe report. Uh, yeah, it is absolutely the best of found footage for me, because here you don't have to worry where the camera is, how the camera got there, and you don't need the homemade quality, because these are astronauts going on an official mission. But it's just the cameras that are there for safety reasons, to watch back what happens and whose fault is it. It is cut from that, and it's absolutely perfect. I love it. There are a couple of fun footage movies I like, but this is, I have it on physical media. I'm sorry, I have to. Just my cat wanted to come in. So, moving on. This is Gore. Gore 1 and 2, so this is a double feature. It was bargaining. Absolutely love this. This is Sandal and Sorceries, Sword and Sandal, everything you wanted. Muscular people in pants, in in loincloths. I love it. I don't know why people love Yor. This is the real deal, for me at least. Absolutely, it is coherent. It has the production value, what you expect. Well, moving on. The absolute end of the garbage bin was were these. These are just papers, cartoon papers with a disc in it, and this is Showgirls. For some reason, I knew it was downvoted by the media, and I understand it, but I just, well, it was $1, literally here, uh, even cheaper than $1. But you know, you get the smallest time in the country, what worth something and not just the pennies. And I thought I will watch it, and I loved it, so I kept it. And Battlefield Earth, yeah, I thought it was hilarious. So when I saw it in the bargain bin, I would have even bought it as a normal DVD, but it was bargain bin, so why not? And here is the big stuff. Alien 1, 2, 3, 4 with theatrical release and the director version and an extra disc where Sigourney Weaver show her tits amongst other things. When this was released, that was absolutely, I was so horny for it when I saw that. And even she was, I don't know, close to 50, she's absolutely hot. Even today I say she's not bad on that. So I have it, and I was especially interested in Alien 3, the directorial version, and it was crap. I expected it to be crap, but I hope the best, that the guy says the real deal, that he really had a vision and it was all just studio interference. It was not. The guy is a scam. He's a hoax. What I was surprised that the Alien 1 got a directorial cut. It worth it. It worth one watch. It wasn't better than the theatrical release, but I appreciated the effort. Now, because everyone likes the special cases, this is the only metal box I have. Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull. Yeah, I'm guilty for that, but it was Indiana Jones and it was fresh, and I don't like the third movie, and the second movie was kind of weak. So I bought it. It wasn't very expensive, so I thought why not. But the real deal is Nosferatu. Yep, special case with The Shadow of the Vampire as a double feature. Uh, I long not seen it, so I don't know how this opens right at the moment. But yeah, it had the creaking, yeah. So this is like a real coffin. So it's like that. Absolutely. And for some reason, this is some paper stuck on the back, but really, this is marvelous. And I wanted to show you, I have some leftover. Zombie Holocaust! Some Italian release also. I bought it just for the title, and yes, I didn't even pick it out from the plastic. I don't even plan to. I saw it on YouTube or something. I liked it, although the end seems a bit rushed, even though it's not a short film. Especially considering what the material is. And I have this. This is a release of Dracula with Lugosi Bela. I kept it because it's that bad. It doesn't always have the dub, and the scenes, the DVDs are segmented to scenes, are in random order. I have no idea, but this was so bad of a release. I kept it and I did not bring it back. And it was probably not too expensive, so I didn't even want my money back, so I kept it as a curiosity. I don't have more DVDs to talk about, but I kept some VHSs. This actually has some decent actors in it. Guilty Zone, I don't know what the original title is. There is David Carradine in it, directed by Louis Loza, with double L on the Loza. There is just, if you want to flip it. Crime Zone. It is post-apocalyptic stuff where there are two cities, and the city the whole film is played through in is a totalitarian dictatorship with a 1984 or 1954, whatever the novel was, Big Brother in it, and the police is that effective that there is no crime, but to give reason for the police and to keep people in order, the police job is to create criminals, and that's where the protagonists end up with the short end of the stick. But at the end of the movie, they manage to get out of this city and go to the other city. Then comes the twist. It is a dystopian film, semi-low budget stuff, so it's a mid-budget stuff or something, straight to VHS probably, but I have it and I kept it in mind, and when I will have the time, I will probably make a copy of it and find a copy of it and rewatch it. And I have this VHS with stuff written on it, time codes and I don't know what. And it has, I will show you. I don't think you can read it even if you flip the screen. It has films on it and advertisement and segments of programs, and I decided to make a copy of it at one time. I'm actually interested what I preserved on this. So that was it. I hope you enjoyed.